Good morning. Now, the intro was actually filmed yesterday, and I decided to refilm this part because I felt like yesterday's energy was very anxious and frazzled, and it very much was, and we'll get into all that. But hello, hi, if you're new here, my name's Noelle, and this is my channel. We do all sorts of creative things on here. I used to do a lot of drawing and stuff, but now we're kind of expanding our horizons and doing more just creative ventures in general. So sewing is a big one that we're trying to get into. And I've known how to sew for like quite a while, so I'm like not a noob to it. The last time I sat down and talked with you guys was probably sometime back in May, April, something like that. I was really trying to get into doing studio vlogs every week, but you know, life happens. And if you are new here, and I'm just going to continue with that sort of intro, I'm American. I live in Northern Ireland. I live with my in-laws, and we live in a very, it's a small home. But currently where I'm sitting is my father-in-law's bar slash man cave, as it were. And I have to be careful where I point the camera because there is stuff that could dox me on the walls on the opposite side of me. So we might see a lot of footage from here and maybe the other wall, but nowhere else. So I'm sitting in here because if you've watched the other vlogs, and you don't have to, but if you've watched the other vlogs, there was just a lot of anger just at the situation because my husband and I we live with his family. It's a small house and there's not a lot of space for him and I, and we share a bedroom, which is fine because, you know, most couples share a bedroom, but I mean, we share a bedroom and that's it. That's our only space for recreation, for sleep, other stuff. The other half of my business is run under our bed. Some of the reasons at least, I have been away for so long is because I was studying for my Life in the UK test. But that's a little bit later in the year. So why don't we backtrack a little bit to May, where I was trying to really get the ball rolling on my short form content. And for a while I was doing really well, and I actually did drum up quite a few followers and subscribers over the vast majority of my social media. Specifically YouTube like had a pretty good jump, so thank you. I really appreciate that. Even though the people who subscribed were because of the short form content, not because of the long form content, but either way I still appreciate the support. Specifically TikTok was where I was doing a lot of trying to drum up more followers and things because I wanted to get monetized on that platform, which I did monetize one of them. And in the end, it just ended up being really superficial. Like, for example, I think I've only made like £2 since I joined the Creator Rewards program over there. It's just not worth it unless you're willing to become a QVC representative, as it were. You know, like trying to sell people things to buy, or sponsorships are a thing, which I'm just like, I'm not at that point where I'm willing to take sponsorships unless it's for something like I truly believe in, not just to sell you crap. You know, it's been a year. I actually don't remember anything that I did during the summer. I'm going to be so honest with you. This year has flown and I have been depressed and just crazy stuff has happened. And so like I said, we'll fast forward now to the Life in the UK test. It's a test that I had to take in order for me to apply for my final spouse visa. Then we're done. I'm done. I can get citizenship and we're done. And I don't have to worry about it ever again. It's just, when you have something so massive hanging over your head for so long, like I didn't really think about the kind of toll it was taking on me mentally, physically, emotionally. So I'm just glad it's over with. So I spent September, October, and the first part of November studying for that test, and it's a 24 question, 45-minute quiz that you take, and it's true or false as well as multiple choice. And I remember sitting there because it's so fresh in my head. I took it on November 8th. I remember sitting there and I got my practice questions were easy. And then I got into like the actual questions of the test, and my heart started racing because I had a couple of questions I wasn't sure of the answer to. And so I kind of just accepted prematurely that I had failed, only to find when I got back to my car and turned my phone on that I had in fact passed. So that's fine. We're not applying for the visa until we get back home from back home. Well, we're going over to visit my family for Christmas, so we're going to be staying over there for a little bit, and then we're coming home sometime in January. And the other thing that has been like weighing over my head this year, it was the fact that I was waiting on my niece to be born. So she was born, and like finally she was born, and I was like, oh, okay. And mom and dad are healthy, the baby's healthy, and everything's good. Life is good. I feel a lot more relaxed today. I just got back from the gym. I don't feel as jittery. I am cold. I have the heater turned on. But yeah, so I'm just like, and then last night when I was sewing, I had like 6 more scrunchies to make. That's the thing though too. We gotta get into the new stuff about the shop. I started selling scrunchies in the shop, and I'm really happy with them. I feel like they look really nice. I was trying to serge one part of the of a scrunchie yesterday, and my serger decided that it was going to snap the threads for some unknown reason. And then I had to go and rethread the machine, and I was trying to figure out what was going on because I'm so used to the overlocker that I have back home that I didn't quite understand how to thread this one. So that was like a whole ordeal. And I finally figured it out. I think it's fine, but it took me an hour to rethread the machine, and I just wanted to go to bed. Like, I was so exhausted mentally, physically, emotionally by that point because I was still waiting on my niece to be born. And I was like on my phone, and I'm like, okay, is this baby coming tonight, or am I gonna go to bed and then like get a message? But no, she was born before, like literally before we went to bed. I feel pretty relaxed. Like, I kind of just want to take maybe a minute to chill and have my tea before we get in to sewing the rest of these scrunchies. I have 4 or 5 more to do, and then I want to make some wristlets, and then we'll start on a different color because I've been doing black thread on both of my machines for I want to say since Friday or Saturday. It's Tuesday, by the way, and yeah, I'm ready for another color, except I don't know what color I want to do yet. I have the sapphire line of the gemstone scrunchies to do. I have amethyst to do. I have emerald to do. And I don't suspect that I will be getting all of the colors up before we travel. You know, this Christmas season, I kind of like wasn't banking on selling much product or anything, especially since the scrunchies were like a last minute thing that I decided that I was going to do to utilize the sewing machines. I have one other color. I have a mint green color for scrunchies, except I'm not really sure what gemstone to name it after. And I might end up doing gold or yellow because I have a friend who loves yellow, and I might call that topaz. I'm not really sure yet. And I also have white scrunchies. I have some like extra fabric that I want to use up too, and maybe I'll call them like, I don't know. I don't really want to call them no waist scrunchies because I know Fauna Rose, I love her. Megan, I love you so much. I know Fauna Rose calls them no waist scrunchies, no waist mystery scrunchies. I want to call mine something like different because I don't want to like completely copy, you know, copy paste her stuff. I'm a little tired of talking for now. I think I am going to take just you know, maybe 45 minutes to like chill, and then I'm gonna jump in and start sewing, and then I will have you up on a tripod and maybe talk to you once in a while if I feel like it.
Lost myself yesterday, back on track.
It's hard to find anything in bulk over here, but I found this stuff on eBay and I just made up my potion. So it's half water, half vinegar, and then some essential oils. I just kind of put a mix in that was thieves-esque. I don't have any clove or cinnamon essential oil, and I have to keep the pets away from our room because of the essential oils. But yeah, I will show you the bulk of what I'm talking about here as far as the mold. I already cleaned the top. It's still a little damp. It looks better, but the back was like the worst. You see like all those mold spots and stuff? It's really, really annoying to have to do this all the time. I mean, luckily it's the kind of fabric that like, you know, it does like go away at least surface level, but it always ends up coming back. So I just kind of have to keep checking up on it, and it always smells like vinegar. So I'm under the bed now and I'm assessing the mold situation under here. So this corner wall always gets the brunt of it. You can already see some starting to form. You know, right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and give that a spray. It's not as bad as like the times where I haven't kept up with it and it got like really, really bad. Well, not really, really bad. Like not like gotta evacuate the room bad, but like to the point where it's like sometimes it goes all, you know, across the skirt board here. So it's just keeping up with it. It's basically because I keep being told we're on a foundational wall. So this is like the coldest wall in the house. And so my in-laws love to keep the house like extremely effing warm. And so it always causes condensation, like slick condensation on our walls. And they always keep blaming it on us, saying it like we don't have enough circulation in this room. But like we keep our window cracked enough that like, you know, we can have like some airflow. We don't keep our door open though because of the noise and the pets and stuff and like just privacy in general. And so it's just like there's no winning here. All right, so I've got steaks out for later tonight and I've got some vegetables steamed in here. The dog doesn't know what to do with herself because she's never really by herself. Come on. She literally always is with someone and she doesn't know how to just be alone, but she is still a puppy. She's like 11 months old at this point. But anyway, I'm starving. I'm gonna go back out to the shed and eat and then work on some more scrunchies. So let's do that. I'm gonna make a couple more scrunchies off camera just because it's a little annoying trying to film and also be distracted by the noise that's outside, and also I like to listen to stuff, Game Grumps in particular when I work, and also I just don't know when my brother-in-law is coming home, and I also have to remember I have to pick up my husband from his job because my brother-in-law has his car. So anyway, I will show you what I make. Like, I'll show you the fruits of my labor when we're done. I only got the one scrunchie done because those guys are just banging and hammering so loud. It's so hard to concentrate on anything. And they're like talking pretty loud too. Like whatever they're working on, I have no idea what they're building. I don't know if they're building like an extra shed or something for the neighbor or what's going on. But like it's so loud and they've been at it for like 2 weeks now and they're not even done. So anyway, I needed to come in because I was getting tired for one. You know, not only was the banging really, really loud and annoying, but I often need a nap in the middle of the day because I just get really tired because I don't sleep much at night. But before I can take a nap, I have to wipe down the wall and make sure that's cleaned off and then take a nap, and then I gotta make sure I get up in time to pick up my husband from work.
Later that day.
So my father-in-law actually bought me this because he saw me working on just that with both of my machines on it. So he got me this as like an extra workspace. The only thing I don't like about this thing is these. They probably work better for like the smaller ones, but I have massive overlocking cones and they just keep falling off. I keep knocking into them, they keep falling off. I wish I had more storage in general, but this is fine for now. Whenever my husband and I eventually, maybe, hopefully, get our own place, I'll definitely rework the sewing situation. It's like 3:20 in the afternoon and the sun is starting to set. I finally finished the scrunchies that I was working on yesterday. So all of the obsidian scrunchies are done, completely done. What I need to do now is I need to start putting the interfacing into, and I think I have the name for them. I'll put it right here, which wristlet design I'm working on. I forget what name I gave it, but I'm gonna start working on putting the interfacing in those, and I'm not going to sew them up until I have the labels for them. I'm not really sure when that's gonna be. I'm hoping within the next couple of weeks I'll start getting those. But for now, I can at least iron them, put the interfacing in, and that's kind of really all I can do. I can't sew them up or anything. I can't add the hardware. So I just have to wait for those labels to come in. Hopefully they come soon. They were kind of expensive, actually. With value added tax, it was like 330 pounds. And since I am literally down to my last pound in my bank account due to a variety of reasons, I ended up using my US funds, which are starting to dwindle. They were really expensive. I think it ended up being like 400 something in American dollars. Kind of sucked. But branding, you know? And I ordered 500 flat labels for the wristlets, and I ordered 500 satin like fold over labels for the scrunchies. And like I said, the scrunchies that I have already made will not have labels on them because I was trialing where I wanted the placement of them, and I do want them to be on the inner seam. I didn't like how they looked whenever the label was situated on the outside outside diameter, the outside radius, I don't know. I didn't like them situated on the outside. I want them on the inside seam. So that's what we're working on here. It's finally gotten kind of nice in here as far as the temperature goes, but I'm pretty tired. I could take a nap before my husband gets home, but I don't know if I will. I kind of just want to get these labels, not labels. I want to get the interfacing done. I am exhausted. I might take a little break though here before I start doing the interfacing. It'll also give my iron a little bit of time to heat up as well. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I also need to find a storage solution for my scrunchies because currently they're in these scrapbook containers because I didn't have anything else, but yeah, I think that's something I'm gonna have to do tonight. So I'm looking at the fabric and I'm looking at the interfacing, okay? And I'm kind of just wondering if I was f***ing high when I cut this interfacing, because they're not the same, they're not the right length at all. But I distinctly remember cutting them correctly, like I measured correctly. So I guess I'm gonna just cut it again, which is annoying. I mean, I have plenty of interfacing. I have like 10 meters. I have no idea what was going on because, like, look, here's what I'm working with, right? I did try to be mindful of how much I needed to leave at the end of each side. I need to leave like maybe like an inch, maybe a half inch at each side. But this is so, it's so short. I don't know what I was thinking. I could have been sleep deprived. I probably was. All right, I'm a dummy. I'm just a dummy. Those were the extra pieces. Those short pieces are the extra pieces. If I would have taken 2 seconds to actually look inside the wad of fabric that I have cut, I would have seen I have the longer pieces in here. And that looks a lot more correct. So this is why I need some sort of storage solution in here because I never know what I have and what I don't. I'm not sure if I want any of these to be scrunchies. Like, I didn't plan on any of them to be scrunchies because I feel like the fabric's a bit too stiff. Like the satin and the chiffon are like really, really nice in the hair. Whereas this I feel like would be a bit too rough. If it was maybe a bit softer, a softer cotton. But it is not. Now we move on to the ironing, which I kind of hate this part. And the great thing about this fabric is there doesn't seem to be a right or a wrong side. So I can just kind of pick the most vibrant side or the side that looks the best and go with it.
morning. I don't know if I ever showed you guys, but we got rid of some stuff and got a bookcase instead because we have so much crap and not enough places to put it. So we're trying to use up all the vertical space that we could. So we have like books and stuff on there. I have a lot of my crafting supplies on there. There's some makeup and things in the bottom. But anyway, that's besides the point. Good morning. It is November 20th. It's Wednesday. And I am trying to get into the habit, at least on the mornings that I sleep in and don't go to the gym, of editing the videos as I go. Also, because the bar area is warming up, I don't want to go in there too quickly because it is cold. So while that warms up, I can at least get some video editing done, you know? So that's kind of what my plan is going to be for the next maybe hour or two. I don't know how many clips I really need to be editing because a lot of it was very talky. But yeah, so that is my plan for the current time. I'm gonna get everything set up. It's, what time is it? 2:30? Yeah, it's a little after 2:30. The roofers are back. I don't know how loud they're gonna be today, but I'm just gonna try and tune them out. I got a package from AliExpress finally. It's the rest of the gizmos and gadgets and tidbits that I need to finish some of the wristlets. And we'll open that together because that's exciting and fun. I think I'm gonna do the sapphire scrunchies today, which means I have to rethread the sewing machine with the blue fabric or the blue thread. And you don't really have to do that with an overlocker, but I do have OCD and I like things to be matchy-matchy. So we are gonna work on those scrunchies today because I think I have that fabric cut. But I think that's the only other fabric that I did cut. I still have emerald to cut. I need to cut, I think I'm gonna call them tourmaline, the mint scrunchies. I'm also gonna have to cut the amethyst ones, which is the purple, but I'm not gonna do that today. I think I'm just gonna focus on rethreading the machines and stuff and starting on those. But before we do anything, I gotta turn the lights on in here. The heater has been on for like 4 or 5 hours now because it is kind of cold. And you know, I wanted to make sure it was like a good temperature in here before I came out. And I got quite a bit of editing done, but I needed the break. And plus my mother-in-law came home. So when everybody's home, it just gets like substantially louder. And it's like in here is kind of a haven from the noise. So, and plus I can actually speak a little bit louder, which is great. So anyway, I'm going to get the cameras and stuff set up and we will do a little unboxing. Salem is just sitting over there. Just sitting, doing cat things. Well, well, well. What have we here? Yeah? Come on. The babies. You're so cold. You in or you out? It's a bit of an awkward angle, but we're gonna roll with it. Oh gosh, okay, I'm gonna have to be like really careful because they put my address on every single package in here, so. And I really don't feel like blurring everything out. Okay, so I don't know what this is. It's like Christmas every time you buy from AliExpress. All right, what do we have? Okay, that's a personal item. It's just for making like nail stuff, which I kind of want to start making nail art designs in the shop, but it won't be for like a while. It won't be for like maybe a year, a couple months, I'm not sure. Because I still want to do more research. I have like nail extensions and stuff, like, but that's, you know, that's still a little way out in the future. This might be fabric. AliExpress has really, really cute fabric. Like, kind of similar to the Japanese Lolita stuff that I'm really into and things like that. But I think people are starting to not call it Lolita anymore because of the negative
is it connotations, I want to say, that are involved with that word. Anyway, I've got, let's take it out of the bag so you can actually see it. That's the other thing about AliExpress, is everything is singularly packaged. So the waste is insurmountable. Two different kinds of heart fabric. A lighter one and a darker one. Here, let's flip them the right way so they look pretty. I couldn't decide which one I liked more, so I got them both. They are, I think, 1/2 meter increments that they sell on AliExpress, so I'm just gonna give these a look over after we're done unboxing and make sure everything's okay. I wasn't sure if I wanted to make these solely into scrunchies or if I wanted to make them into wristlets as well, but I think I might. It kind of just depends on how the pattern sits, because from just looking at it, I don't know how well the pattern's gonna sit as a wristlet. So that's something I have to think about. These are just gloves for putting under a UV light so that I don't get cancer. These, okay, these are things that I have been wanting / needing because of how I make my wristlets. So these are little links that match, or at least they should match up with the clasps that I have. So I have these in a few different colors. So they really like to put everything in individual bags. I wasn't kidding. Are these the, okay, what are these? These are more, okay. So I already have some already, you can't really tell. Maybe I'll pull some out. But these are strawberry shaped lanyard hooks. And I have a few different colors to match the fabric that I have. And those chain links will hook up to these, which will hook up to a D hook. So it's all very convoluted, but it's what I wanted. I also got, for the heart-shaped ones, or the heart fabric rather, I got heart-shaped lanyard hooks. Did I need to go all out and get different shaped hooks and things? No, but I did anyway. And you know, I like things to be cute and matchy. That was kind of like the idea for my shop, was I wanted everything to be cute. Gosh, there's so much trash. There's a couple different colors of those, but I'm not going to show you everything because they'll be on the shop. Now what's this? Look at how they did this. They just put like a label over top of, I can only assume is a baggie. Dear goodness. Okay, those are more links. Links. More links. More links. More links. What is this? Oh, headbands. That's the other thing too. So my idea was, if I ever failed at making a scrunchie for whatever reason, I did the fabric wrong or sewing disasters happen, I could use that fabric still to maybe make a headband. I got two different sizes to trial that out. So I got 2 centimeter and 1.5 centimeter. I think these are the 2 centimeter ones. I just got white because I figured that would be the easiest to cover. So what's this? I don't remember what this is. Oh, okay. These are wristlet hardware. And I got rose gold because I wanted rose gold. So rose gold wristlet hardware. I think this is a pack of 100. There. What a lovely unboxing. I love buying from AliExpress because I just like craft stuff. I buy a lot of craft stuff off of there. I could actually switch out the machine thread and no, I can't finish any wristlets until I get my satin ribbons, my branding ribbons, my branding labels. I do have some finished. They're probably going to be B grade if anything, because I tried out the satin ribbons. Well, let me show you here. Well, actually just the camera as well. So I got a sample pack of my branded labels like a week ago, and I tried them out, tried them on a couple of the products, and Like, I was really trying to figure out how I wanted everything to look. So these are the wristlets that I'm talking about right now. I'll show you some of the scrunchies in a little bit. So the first one that I trialed, I thought maybe I would put the branding on the outside up where the wrist is, because I thought that was, you know, an interesting idea, but I wasn't really sure how I was going to sew the label on. So this first one I sewed like all the way around the entire label, and I didn't like how that looked because I just felt everything sticking up and I just didn't like how that looked. So I got it in my head that maybe I will put all the labels on the inside. So I tried that again, and I tried again sewing all the way around, and I still didn't like how that looked, because if you look at the stitching on this particular one, you can see that it's just it's gapping the label itself, and it just doesn't look clean. So for the next one that I tried, I was like, why don't I try it with the label that's meant for the scrunchies? And I didn't like that because I didn't like how it flapped around, and I just didn't like that one. So my final two trials, I tried to sew it down with a zigzag stitch as well as a straight stitch, and I kind of like both, to be honest. If I would have put the zigzag stitched one on a little bit straighter, I would have actually not minded that one. But I think just for how everything's gonna go, I think I am gonna go with the straight stitch label. Those are the wristlets. I do have 5 of these here, and I think I'm gonna put them up in my Oops All B grades listing, because they're not bad. It's just that I don't like the, you know, I don't feel like these are 100%, you know, for sale. Do you know what I mean? I am not going to be putting any hardware on them, as far as like they're just gonna have this thing, but I'm not gonna use the nice hardware because these are like B/C grade. But I do want to still, you know, at least make back the cost of the production, not necessarily like for profit or anything, but at least the production costs, so the fabric and the interfacing. So that's what I'm going to do with those. And as far as the scrunchies that I trialed with the labels, I will show you. I trialed it on the outside of the scrunchie, and I don't like the look of that. I would rather have it placed on the inner seam here, at least for the double layered ones. It'll be on the chiffon fabric, and then for like the single layer scrunchies that are just like very basic, well, I call them the basic scrunchies, they will just be on that inner seam. I always look in my Oops All B grades listing on my Etsy, because I always have B grades to get rid of. So yeah, thank you. Please and thank you. I was finishing off the interfacing yesterday for the wristlets in the black color that I'm doing, and that took a little while, but yeah, that's done, so I don't have to do any more of them. So now we're gonna put the overlocker back on this table. It's a pain in my butt. Eventually I will have the sewing area of my dreams, but for now, we do what we can do. I just realized the sign is in the shot. That's okay. I will remember to I will remember to blur that out. My father-in-law got it in his head that he wanted a sign for his man cave, but it has our address on it. Let me know your thoughts and feelings, because I'm not sure yet. So I have this honeybee fabric that's really cute. I have this, let me see if I can find it. Here we go. I also have this denim unicorn fabric, which I love the look of, and I also have this strawberry fabric, which I think is also super cute. The problem that I'm facing, and here, why don't we just finally move that out of the way so I don't have to keep keep mosaicing the footage. I don't really know what to do with them, because if I was to make these into a wristlet, okay, my wristlets are cut into 4 inch wide rectangles, and then they're folded down to 1 inch. So the pattern of the fabric has to fit on there. Do you know what I'm saying? So the smaller the pattern size, the better. I didn't really think about when I ordered these. So I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do with this fabric, because they're cute, but I don't think they're gonna work for my wristlets. And yeah, I also think they're not really gonna work great for scrunchies either. So I'm kind of in a rock and a hard place. I thought about maybe turning them into bags, like wristlet bags, or like coin purses or something, but I don't really know, because I ordered them because I just wanted the variety in color for my wristlets, since everything that I have so far is pink. But I didn't think about like the size, and that's on me. I should have thought a little bit long and hard. So luckily I didn't order too much of this fabric. I think I only ordered like maybe 1 meter or 1/2 meter each. So that's not, you know, that's not anything major, and it's not like a huge drop in the bucket as far as like finances or anything. But I don't know what I'm gonna do with these fabrics, and they are lovely, so I would like to do something with them. I just don't know what. So I have in here the amethyst and emerald scrunchie fabrics, and I'm not going to be pulling them out because I'm not ready for them and I don't know where I'm going to put them. But I have in here the overlocking thread. I bought everything on poundameter.com. No, not Poundameter, Pound Fabrics. Poundameter and Pound Fabrics are two different websites. I think I wanted to buy off of Poundameter, but it wasn't like 110% sure. But Pound Fabrics had good reviews, so I bought off of them. I might try Poundameter eventually, but I don't really know. And Oh So Crafty I wanted to buy from, because they had good, like a really good selection of fabric, and the prices were really nice, but their Trustpilot reviews were like kind of iffy, and it was like, I don't really want to deal with that sort of stuff. So I ended up buying off of Pound Fabrics and love them. The only thing is they don't have a huge selection of fabric. They do have like your basics, but they don't have a lot in the way of like pattern fabrics. But you know, it's fine. And I'll deal. But they really packaged this really nicely. I have my blue overlocking thread. There's also the purple and the emerald color, but I need all the blue. Now you might notice that I only use 3 cones on my serger, and that is because when you are serging things, I believe I read that lighter weighted fabrics only require like 3 threads, whereas like something like denim would require like 4. But I didn't actually know that until this year. I've always sewn with 3 threads because I just felt it was less wasteful. So I always buy 4 cones just in case, and the other cone I always just use it for like sewing. So that's like my sewing cone. So I'm gonna put these away, and then we'll thread our machine, which is gonna be a pain in my butt. So if you don't know anything about a serger or an overlocker, as some people call them, they are quite complicated. Shall I move you a little bit closer so that you may see my pain and suffering? So each thread goes through a different area, and it's quite complicated. It's not, but it also kind of is. The easiest way to rethread the overlocker is to cut the cone thread right back here, remove the old cones, take your new cones and slap them up here, okay? And then what you want to do is you actually want to tie the threads together, so the old thread and the new thread will be tied together. And I think there's a specific knot that you have to use, and I'll look that up in a second here to make sure that I'm correct. So what ends up happening is the knot will allow the new thread to come through where the old thread was, and it just makes it a lot less of a headache. Unless of course you're like me and your knot comes undone. Maybe don't listen to me. As far as it comes to like advice and stuff for your machine, because I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I just work here, and then what I do is I just pray. It didn't take as long as the other night, but I got it. Looks good. I always keep scrap fabric around so that I can adjust the serger, but that looks good. That's a nice stitch. Nothing wrong with it. We are good to go with the sapphire scrunchies. So what I like to do for the basic scrunchies is I like to serge the long sides. That way, like satin in general, at least this satin, frays really, really, really bad. And I just like to serge the sides whenever possible, just to make it easier on my life. And then it just comes out cleaner, in my opinion. I mean, I don't think you need to. You probably don't need to if you're pretty careful, but like it's an OCD thing. So I like to serge all the sides of what will be the basic scrunchies. And then what I do is when I make the double layer scrunchies, I serge them when I attach the 2 layers together. And that's just how I've been doing everything lately. So I'm just gonna gather all of the basic scrunchies. Are these all of them? Wow. Do I even have enough for the deluxe? I must, they're under here. Oh, okay, I was kind of sort of smart and I layered them. Okay, so I have however many is sitting in my hand. I know the lighting's not great. But I'm gonna go ahead and start serging these. This is actually my favorite part because it's monotonous and I don't know, I just have a lot of fun with it. So let's get into it. And I'm probably gonna put Game Grumps on because I like to have them in the background. I lied, I put the Welsh Twins on. Like we have 17 of the basic scrunchies, which is plenty. I don't know how many of the double layer ones I have yet because I have yet to work on them. I don't think I'm gonna work on them too much tonight because the sun's going down. It's very dark in here now. My husband's coming home in about a half an hour and then we're gonna have dinner. I mean, I'm not sure yet if I want to work on anything. If anything, I need to work on closing some of the finished scrunchies because I don't know, there's a lot and I hand stitch them, so I could do that. But at the same time, I'm like I kind of listed low quantities of the scrunchies on my Etsy page because I knew, one, I just don't have the traffic right now. I've only got like 20 some sales under my belt. So like I'm not a super popular shop. I don't get sales very often. So I can kind of like not worry too much about things selling out or not having stuff stocked. So I'm not super worried about that. my main concern is just getting all of these colors up on the page and then hand sewing them and getting them up. Like I've taken, I think the rainbow quartz scrunchies I actually took pictures of before they were actually finished, and then I finished a couple just to have up. But anyway, I'm actually getting pretty tired, so I might take a break here. I might clean up the workspace, and then I will go inside and wait for my husband, or I might wait out here for him. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I kind of just want to be done for right now and clean up everything. If I do vlog later tonight, it'll be on my phone, so see you in a little bit maybe. I'm trying so desperately hard to warm it up in here, but it's barely like 52. Good morning. It's Thursday, November 21st, and it's quite cold this morning. We have had the strangest weather. Well, not really strange, but like, I'm from Pennsylvania, so, you know, this kind of weather, I wouldn't like bat an eyelash at, but it's weird seeing snow in Ireland. And what's really interesting is that the higher elevations will have like snow lay on the fields and stuff, whereas where I'm situated in a lower elevation or a lower elevated area, we just have the green fields, and it's just so cool. You know, when you're driving and you can see like so far away, and you see like the snow covered hills, and yet like right next to you on the side of the road it's just green. So it's kind of fun. So I need to finish some work that I had started last night. My husband came home and started making dinner, and I was in the middle of adding chain links to the hardware for the wristlets, and you'll see in a second here. I'm a little bit on the fence about it, but at the same time I'm just going to go through with it. I have to be so careful when I pull apart and then close the jump rings, because they're painted and the paint will just inevitably scuff off slightly. And I'm a little bit upset by that, and I'm hoping you guys don't mind like the little nick in the paint on the ring. But I mean, it is what it is, and I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing because I bought all the hardware and I need to use it, because I'm not gonna keep it around. And yeah, I'm just gonna go with it. So that's my plan today, is to just finish the links. And then I'm going to start the sapphire scrunchies, because those need done. I think the next color I will do is emerald, because I should have done emerald before sapphire, but I didn't think about it because it's a Christmassy color, you know? And I didn't think about it. But if it takes me 3 days to do the sapphire scrunchies, and then I start doing the emerald and the amethyst next, I don't think they'll be done in time before the shop closes, because the shop is closing on December 13th. I'm closing it like the night of December 12th, but I'm closing the shop for December 13th because we're traveling the next week to go back home and see my family for Christmas. I am like so flippin' excited. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get everything set up, the cameras and the lights and everything, and then we will get started. So I have plenty of stuff to do today. I'm a little bit upset that I didn't get quite the color match that I was hoping for these in particular. As you can see, the rings are slightly lighter pink than these, but it is what it is. And you know, I don't really care that much. I mean, I could say the same for these as well. These are more of a bluer pink. These are more of an orangey sort of pink. Like, there's some slight differences that I'm hoping you guys aren't gonna mind. But what I've been doing is I have been taking the rings, taking my hardware. Oh my gosh, dropping them on the floor. That's an essential part. And then what I've been doing is like so carefully taking one of the rings and opening them and having them like fly on the floor. I mean, this is a pain in my butt, but you know, hopefully it'll be worth it. Opening them just enough to slide the hardware through and then just closing them and then putting them away. The hard part is trying not to scrape the paint. So I've been trying to do different methods of covering the ring. And so far the toilet paper method seems to be the only method that I can think of. And I'm still scraping the paint. So I don't know. I don't know, guys. I'm really trying here. The only thing I can think of is what could I cover the pliers with something? I'll show you here if I can get the camera to focus. I don't even know if you can tell, but there is the most minuscule amount of paint off of the thing, off of the ring, and I'm actually seriously considering like not doing these. Like, I just know there'll be that one customer who's like, well, there was paint scraped off of my jump ring, and that's just, I don't know. Am I overthinking it? Am I overthinking it? Because I think I'm overthinking it, because if I was a customer and I just noticed that maybe some of the paint was scraped off, I'd be like, well, it's a handmade object. Like, do you know what I mean? But you never know, because some people think that Etsy sellers and sellers in general operate as a factory and everything's perfect when it comes out, which is not the case. So I don't know. I think I am just overthinking it. So then I've been taking these finished ones and then just slipping them in a baggie in a box that I have sitting here next to me. So yeah, let's do some more. So now I just have to do the light pink and the slightly darker light pink, and then we'll be done. It looks like a lot, but it takes me about a minute per chain, so it shouldn't really take that long. Okay, so the hardware's done. It took a little over an hour or something like that to finish everything. I am going to put a blurb or a picture post or something on the Etsy listings for the wristlets that the hardware is going to have some paint chips, because I can't justify not selling them, you know, just because of the slight defects. And I'm going to sell them for full price because there's still the labor and stuff involved, and they still look fine, just like small chipping. And I am assuming that normal wear and tear, if they get used daily, that the paint is just eventually going to wear off and chip away, you know. That is just the reality of it. So I think moving forward for next time, since I know now, I will just eventually buy hardware that isn't painted. I'll just get normal metal, you know, like silver, gold, maybe rose gold. I'm not sure yet. So that's what I'm thinking of moving forward. It will just be a lot easier too, to just match the hardware up, and it'll just be easier in the long run. So that's what I'm thinking for that. But that's not for like a while. I still have to sell what I have. So as far as the wristlets go, that's what I'm thinking. I can't finish any wristlets until I get the brand labels, which brings me to this. And I mentioned it before, I think, but I think I am just gonna go ahead and sew the brand labels on the outside when I get them, because I can't justify sitting around waiting for the labels if I can just finish all the scrunchies. And I think I did mention that I wanted to put them here. I wanted to put the labels here on the side seam, but they're already finished. Like, I have 4 lines finished of the scrunchies, and I can't, you know, I just can't. I'm only hand finishing a few at a time, like 3 of each line at a time, just so I can like have some product up on my Etsy store. But like moving forward, I will be putting the label on the outside when I get them, and any scrunchies that I make after I get the labels will be on the side seam. So I know there's going to be like inconsistencies, but at the same time I can't justify not using those labels. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, they still look good, you know, still cute. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, you know, it is what it is. So I think because of that, I am going to start sewing the sapphire scrunchies. And I know I said it a couple of days ago, I never did. I do need to buy some sort of storage boxes for these scrunchies, because right now they're sitting in overflowing in the craft boxes that I do have. This one's really cute. I think the rose quartz ones are my favorite. But anyway, I've been rambling on far too long, and I would like to get some sort of sewing done today. And I'm also not sure if I'm going to go to the gym or not. I keep toying with the idea that I want to go to the gym today, and then I'm like, ugh, but I also don't feel like it, but I also should. But I'm kind of leaning towards not going. But anyway, why don't we make some sapphire scrunchies? So I just did a couple of the basic size sapphire scrunchies, and I'm starting to do some of the luxe size, but I think I might have cut my chiffon the wrong way. And the only reason I am suspecting that is because the fabric when it's folded is a lot longer than, say, when I was doing the obsidian scrunchies. But yeah, I don't know what happened there. I'm still gonna obviously make them, and you know, I'm not gonna like sell them for any more or anything, but I just thought that was interesting that I measured it incorrectly, possibly. But we'll carry on. Do you see what I mean? This is way longer. Something isn't adding up here. I don't know. I'm gonna think about stuff off camera. It just sucks because I think I'm gonna have a lot of excess wastage. Unless these turn out just like super fluffy. Ugh, I don't know. Yeah, I stretched it out and I measured it, and it's about an inch less than it should be, 1.5 inches, I think. So, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna take a little like break to go to the bathroom and think things over, but I think I'm gonna have to just really figure this one out because I don't know what I did. I think I just cut the fabric lengthwise instead of widthwise or something along those lines. So this is like a fail, but not really because the scrunchie's still scrunchies. So whatever. I'm kind of thinking I just want to pack it in for right now, because I've been meaning to go to the gym. I need to go to the gym more frequently. I've been really, really bad at going to the gym lately. I maybe go once or twice a week when I used to go 4 times a week. And it's about that time where I could go. So I think I should. So I think I'm just gonna pack everything up and maybe go to the gym and do something. Maybe an ab workout, I don't know. Something. I'm back from my workout. I just did like a quick ab workout because I was like, I'm still really sore, my legs, from my workout 2 days ago. So I don't want to do anything too strenuous, but I barely got through this ab workout. My abs and core are so, like, they're not as strong as they used to be, right? But I got home and my in-laws were vacuuming, and it's the second time today that they were vacuuming, and I was like, I'm not dealing with this. So I just decided to come out here. My husband's not home yet, but he'll be home in like 15 minutes. So I'm just going to come out here and chill for a little bit, warm the place up, because I think I want to come back out after dinner and work on figuring out why these scrunchies are not the correct length. But the thing is, right, what I'll just end up doing is I'll use whatever scraps I end up having from either the chiffon or the satin and just make like a mystery scrunchie from it. You know, like a secret scrunchie. The secret scrap scrunchie. Is that what I ended up calling them? I can't remember. That's just what I'm going to do. You know? And that way I won't have wastage and I'll feel better. The other thing that I want to try doing, and I'm sorry about the lighting not being great, but the other thing I want to try doing is making rope baskets, fabric rope baskets. What I've seen people doing is taking like curtain line, like cotton curtain lines, wrapping fabric around them and then sewing them into rope baskets. And I think that is so stinking cool. And I might do that eventually, and maybe that could be something to potentially sell in the future. I don't know yet. But anyway, those are my thoughts for now. I'm going to chill out here for a little bit, and then I'll get back to you later whenever I come back outside after dinner. I know I look crazy, but it's, what, 8:15 or something like that, and I'm really, really, really tired. I got a couple of scrunchies done. I just kind of bit the bullet and cut the chiffon down to size. I don't know what I'm going to do with these scraps yet. And I also have some wider scraps of satin because they were like end pieces. So I don't really know what I'm going to do yet. I think I'm going to go online and look for some storage solutions and see if I can click and collect something tomorrow, because I definitely need something. But I'm going to head in because I am exhausted. So I will see you guys tomorrow.